Hey, welcome to this video. I hope you're all doing well. I've not been doing that well recently, which is why I haven't made many videos lately. I got really sick about a week ago. That was on the back end of a crazy busy period at work. And of course, that leads to getting sick really easily. I was really hoping to get outside and do a video, but we are now in real winter here in New Zealand. It's June the 6th as I record this. So yeah, weather's not been great either. So here we are, an indoor video. I wasn't originally planning on making another passive income update so soon after the last one, but May 2026 was a pretty good month for me for passive income. Just a heads up that I'll be giving all these dollar amounts in US dollars. All right, so first and the largest amount of passive income I received in May was from my dividend portfolio. I have a portfolio completely dedicated to just earning me dividend income. I get this income from what is now 4 individual funds that I own. And some of these funds, they pay me weekly, some of them pay me monthly. And the total amount in dividend income for May was $282.77 US. I can't remember April's amount off the top of my head, but I know that it was better. And that's because May has been a crazy month. It's been really volatile in the markets. And usually you'd think that volatility would be a bad thing. And it can be for some other stocks I own, but for the purpose of these income generating funds that I own, volatility is actually a really good thing. That's because these funds are primarily covered call option selling funds. I'm not even gonna try to go too heavy into the details to explain what that means, but basically these funds that I own, they own several shares and stocks in companies, mostly tech companies. And what they're doing, the owners of these funds that is every single day, they are selling options contracts on these shares and stocks that they own. So basically that's generating income every single day. And the purpose of these funds overall is to pay out income to their shareholders, like me. And basically volatility makes options contracts more valuable. Well, it can do. Anyway, it can all get a bit complicated. I hope that wasn't too difficult to understand. Point is, May was a really good month for me. So yeah, $282.77 in dividend income. The next bit of passive income I earned, the next highest that is, was actually from YouTube. It was $96.06 US dollars. I've mentioned before that I do have another YouTube channel which is monetized. I've had it for a few years now, and that's where that income's coming from. This channel, pretty new, pretty small. It's not generating any income at all yet. It's a long way off being monetized, but hopefully, who knows? Next up, interest income. Little bit of interest income earned from some savings accounts that I have, some high interest savings accounts. That totaled to $22.22 US in total. Not exactly a huge amount, but hey, it's money for nothing, I guess. And the last one, and this is a very interesting one. It's a new income stream that I just started in the month of May. And it's actually related to the covered call funds that I own in my dividend portfolio that I explained a little bit earlier. It is options trading. Those options contracts I mentioned earlier in the funds that I own in my dividend portfolio. Well, anybody can trade options contracts. So that's what I did in May. It's something I've had my eye on doing for quite some time. I would say about, well, just under a year ago, I came across some videos on YouTube about how to trade options. Needless to say, it's a pretty complex topic, but I'll try to give you a very high level, very broad overview so you get a little bit of an idea of how you can make money selling options contracts. You can also lose money selling options contracts, so it can be quite high risk. But anyway, let's say I find a company on the stock market that I like the look of and I want to buy shares in. It's currently trading for $15 a share on the markets. And I think, you know what? I would actually quite like to buy this stock for $14 if it got to that price. And I think the price is actually going to go down to $14 or less in the next, say, 30 days. What I can do here is make a little bit of money. I can sell what is called a put option. And what selling a put option is in this case is selling a contract which is an obligation to buy 100 shares of this particular company at a specific price, in this case, $14. So what you can do is you can hop online, look at the options trading market for that particular company, find a price that you would be happy to buy 100 shares of this company for, and then look at a term length of this contract. So let's say 30 days. In 30 days time, if the price of this company hits $14 or less, I will be obligated to buy 100 shares of this company for $14 per share. So I'll have to pay $1,400 total to buy 100 shares. An options contract is always for 100 shares because you're selling something. In this case, you're selling an obligation. You're entering a contract to buy these shares at the end of the contract, potentially only if the price hits that specific amount or less. You collect a fee for that. That fee is called a premium. And that's exactly what I did in the month of May. This is something I've been researching for several months now, and I've been practicing the last couple of months on practice trading accounts as well, selling put options, that is. I will point out that what I'm doing is called selling cash secured puts. And that is, I have the cash to buy these shares if I'm obligated to buy them. What some people do, and it sounds really, really scary, is they sell naked options. That basically means they are selling options contracts without the money to buy these shares. So that's super, super dangerous. In my case, I'm not doing that at all. In May, I earned a whopping $48.08 out of 2 contracts that I sold on a particular stock. Actually, I got really, really lucky in this case because these 2 contracts that I sold, the money from that came in about 2 weeks. First contract I sold was set for a specific price at the end of the contract, but what happened was the stock rose suddenly in price, which made the options contract that I sold initially a lot less valuable. So what I did in that case was I just closed the contract. I bought it out. End of the deal. I collected about 60% of the fee that I earned, the premium that I collected, and I just repeated the process. It happened again. I sold the contract and then the value of the stock shot up. End result, $48.08 in 2 weeks. Not bad. Now, I'm fully aware that options contracts can go the other way. What happens if you do become obligated to buy these shares at the end of the contract, 100 shares per contract? Well, that's another story. I'll talk about that later on, but you can go the other way. You can sell what's called a call option, which basically means you can make money selling an obligation to sell the shares at a particular price. I'll talk about that some other day. So yeah, options trading, a new passive income stream that I started in May that I'm really looking forward to learning more about and potentially earning a little bit more income here and there from. Altogether, the grand total for May in passive income was $449.13 US, that is. According to today's exchange rates in my local currency, New Zealand dollars, that would be $774.78. So not bad. Again, it's not exactly an amount where I can live the high life off, but what I'm doing is planning on retiring overseas, somewhere in Southeast Asia. My wife and I have got our eyes on primarily Malaysia. We're also looking at Thailand, a couple of other places too. But in a previous video, I talked about how much money would my wife and I need to live off of each month if we did retire in Malaysia. And that amount was $800 US per month. And that's after accommodation costs. For accommodation, we're actually planning to buy a place where we end up retiring. So we just need that monthly income coming in to live off of. And the number I came to after a fair bit of research for the both of us was $800 US a month. And this month is already just over half of that amount that's needed. I've explained before that my strategy involves reinvesting all the passive income that I receive each month. So my passive income is gradually snowballing. It's gradually increasing month by month. And the dividend income portfolio that I get most of my income from is actually just under, it's coming up on a year old. So it begs the question, what's this monthly amount going to look like this time next year? It's pretty exciting. But anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you. Quick update on the amount of passive income received for the month of May. I've had one or two comments from people already asking me, how do I set up a dividend portfolio? What should I buy? Where should I set it up? That kind of thing. Maybe that's something I can actually get started on in the near future, showing you how to get started with a dividend income portfolio yourself. But yeah, likewise, I've really been enjoying the discussion about topics I've discussed in my other videos too. In the videos I've been making so far, I've been better received than I ever thought. Got just under 100 subscribers already. Doesn't sound like a lot in the scheme of things, but hey, 100 people, that's a, I don't know, small community hall full of people I'm talking to potentially. Anyway, that's been the amount of passive income I've made for the month of May 2026. Looking forward to that income potentially increasing next month. Who knows? Talk to you in another video. Thanks for watching.